This is the newest way to fish the Deps Sakamata Shad. We all know the big things the pros have been doing with this bait. And when you see this combo, this is like a little puppy dog, you know, little puppy dog you want to pet.
Can I pet that dog?
No.
Can I pet that dog?
You
Can I pet that dog?
No, he's
Can I
sleeping.
pet that dog?
Today, we're throwing the Deps Sakamata Shad, the 4-inch. We're rigging it up on that Duo Bay Rough BR head. It's Northern Strain style. Hit that like and subscribe, and let's go.
Over on the lake in a tiny little boat stood a tall, slim gal who said her boat wouldn't float. She called on me for a helping hand. I said I didn't have time, I'm a fishing man, I'm a fishing man. Out on the lake, got a stringer full of fish and a pole that'll never break.
Okay, the Deps Sakamata Shad, that is just taken over the strolling game, the pinging a minnow game, the video game fishing game. This is one of the must-have baits. Now, we've been hearing about how these fish are already getting shy to the radar and to the boats. They're having to make longer casts. They're having to do different techniques. And man, I think this one's going to be a big player. So the Deps Sakamata Shad, you know, it's got that nice shad fluke style profile. And then it's got the little wings right there. And then it tapers down to that little tail. That little tail is pretty magic. Now, here's the Duo Bay Rough BR head, and you can see how it's a bullet shaped, and then it has the grooves there, or the fins there too, just like the Deps Sakamata Shad. You can see how the eyelet goes up, straight up 90. It's got a nice bait keeper on there and a real nice hook. So the secret to get better action out of this bait is to rig it upside down. You want that flat part of the bait on the bottom, and that just gives it a lot better action. There's more surface for it to bounce off of. So bam, there's your setup. Now, if you even wanted to be more critical, if you wanted to get a little Aaron Martin style on it, you can take a scissors to the back of it and make it even flatter, or an X-Acto knife or something. Now, Aaron Martin's used to do that with his flukes too. And he said that just helped give it more action. I'm glad I remembered to turn the cameras on there. The cool thing about this jig head is it's going to walk side to side. So you get in a cadence with popping your rod and reel. Pop, reel, pop, reel. Okay? Now, when it's calm, you do that with your rod tip up in the air, right? Windy conditions, do it with your rod tip down. And it's just all about finding that cadence, get this bait to walk, get this bait to two-step, get it to sea-walk, get it to do-si-do. Just because this was designed for mid-strolling doesn't mean you can't fish it from the bank or fish it through different parts of the water column. In fact, that's what I was doing. I was letting the bait fall down to the bottom, and then I would start my cadence and work it. And if you don't have live scope, you know, I mean, the fish are going to relate to the bottom most of the time. So that's what I was doing, and I had a bunch of success. And hey, it's just another way to fish the Deps Sakamata Shad. And man, I'm telling you, go get a pack of these jig heads. Even if you're not a fan of doing this type of fishing, it's a fun way to fish a finesse bait. we go. When you're working this rig, you kind of want to have a fast tip on your rod so it'll bounce and spring this jig back and forth. Get a lot better action that way. Then you set your drag a little loose so it'll give a little bit on the bite. Man, because they inhale this sucker. What I like about it too is you can fish it deep, you can fish it up on the top water column, fish it in the middle. Now, I think this bait is going to be a player more for when the fish are grouped up. I don't know if a single fish would want to be, I don't know if a single fish would be aggressive if you're scoping, you know, but I wouldn't know, you know, I mean, I'm sure some days you could catch them like that. But I think if there's, you know, a little pod of fish, you know, a little wolf pack, and you throw this out there, that's going to get the little group fired up, and hopefully the big one will come up and chomp on that. I was throwing this on a 7-foot medium with a fast tip, 10-pound braid, 8-pound fluorocarbon. There we go. Just gave it 2 pumps. So what I've been doing is letting the, ooh, it's good. I've been letting the bait fall to the bottom. Then I'm giving it 2 jerks and letting it glide out, and then let it fall back down. And I'll give it 2 or 3 or 4 more. You know, just kind of changing my cadence up till I find out what they like. And such a cool technique. Such a cool jig head. Oh, it's a giant. Go for the mouth every time.